Hi, my tubies, my Teletubbies, SheilaTruelove here with you again. I am having the most incredible Saturday. You see how many videos I've done? I've been looking at a lot of educational shows. I'm just having the best weekend ever. Right now, I'm looking at still with this O'Shea character, and they are trying to school. There's several. This is one black guy. He's young. He's 30. He just got out of his 20s, so he's 30. So he's still relatively immature. I think men start to mature when they hit like they're like 37, almost 40. But he's talking about how he gets pleasure out of just not having to be with one woman, but jumping from one woman to another. Each woman that he's with, he have them to submit to him, and when they stop submitting, that's when he moves on to the next. He doesn't see the importance of developing relationships with women. But little does he forgets, he doesn't have children. When the people get, I've seen people in nursing homes, and I've listened to the news. These people in these nursing homes, they don't have any family. They don't have anybody to care about them. They don't have children or grandchildren or family to look in on them when these people are abusing them. And another thing this young guy keeps forgetting, you're 30 now, sweetheart. But one, you got a prostate. Remember that. And that means prostate cancer somewhere along the way, leading to erectile dysfunction. Okay. And you have to keep in mind, you're going to get older. You're 30 now. But what happens when you can't? He's talking about smash and he want to be balls deep and all of this nonsense. What happens when you get older, baby, when you hit 60, when you hit 65? Talk to older men. Yeah, you do that. They're sitting up here. They can't sling penis the way they used to. Now they turn into Viagra, Levitra, whatever the hell. And a lot of times that messes with their eyesight. My brother had a pacemaker put in his chest. He's dead now, by the way. He's dead. Mr. Viagra. Okay? It used to make his muscles hurt and his joints used to hurt, and he had problems with his eyesight. It changed the colors or whatever the hell goes on when they take these pills. The pharmaceutical companies, they're not going to tell you the truth of the long-term use of this, or you constantly playing around with this. It's making too much money. So of course they're not going to tell you men what's up with that, what's the real deal. But I know several men who are having health and joints and eye problems and pacemakers all in their chest, You can't go near the microwave oven, or you can't go near certain electronics, or whatever. So you go ahead. Keep thinking that you're going to keep smashing and whatever. And the thing I noticed about this young dude is he wants to talk about how he likes jumping from woman to woman. It's not, he can't keep a woman. That's what it is. You see, women eventually probably get tired of him. He can't keep a woman. It's not what you could get, it's what you could keep. And you have most of these guys out here, they can't keep a woman. So then they develop this trying to save face attitude. No, I don't want no women. I know that. And with this dude here, I'm going to tell you, I promise you, he sounds like to me a DLT, download Tutti Frutti. Hire an investigator. When you hear a guy start talking like this, hire an investigator immediately. You could get a cheap investigator. I know how to do it. Talk to me later. But yeah, and I bet you, follow the place he go to. I bet you see him doing something. He's got something going on with another man. Ask him, have you ever been sexual with a man at all? Have you ever pulled out your penis with another man? I don't care who was hitting who and who was sucking what. Have you been sexual with a man? I can always tell the ones who have been sexual with men by the way they talk. I recognize it. Now you got these older black men who's trying to school this young boy, and he's still a boy. Let's listen in.
About submission. Got it, right? Correct.
When she's with me. The time that I'm dealing with her, when I'm done with her, I don't,
You just don't care for the long term.
Exactly. And I don't understand why other men who are on their shit, or on their stuff, and on the accused, really cares about it. Because when a woman's done practicing submission with you, when the lovey-dovey stuff runs out, you can always go get another woman to do the same thing. So submission is there. I think we're looking for something that doesn't exist, which is long-term, feelings. Something, but that stuff only lasts for so long. It's a chemical reaction, the honeymoon phase.
You see what he said? You could always go get another woman. Yeah, look at how young he is. But he's not going to be that age forever. I see these old men who are so lonely. Like I said, I have my friend Steve. He's mad cool and all of that. But Steve, how old is Steve? I think Steve he's up there in age. And he's lonely. He's very lonely. He lives across the street, down the block, a little down the block from me. He lives in a trailer. I go over there to his place sometimes, spend time with him because he likes to watch the same movies I do. He likes to barbecue. He's a Leo. He's very intelligent. He's a military dude, a Marine, ex-Marine, but he's lonely. You know what I'm saying? His wife, he was married before, but I think his wife died. His wife passed away. So he's out here by himself. He didn't have no children, so he don't have no grandchildren to look out for him. He just sits up in that trailer alone. I come by and spend time with him. He have a couple of his homies. They drink some beers and kick back some beers every now and again. But you know, you're not going to be 30 forever, youngster. Your penis is going to start to malfunction on you. And if you ain't slinging it right, you got a lot of women that ain't trying to hear it, even older women. Because I see these women, I'm shocked. Women like 66, 70, and they sit up here chasing after penis. I was like, this is crazy. So he's still talking about, he's 30. He's on chapter 30 in his life. What chapter are all these other people? They're way ahead of the game, man. You just on chapter 30. You haven't been on chapter 40 or chapter 50 or chapter 60. You just keep reading.
I think black men are looking for everlasting honeymoon phase from black women, but in reality, that's just not what's going to happen. I mean, enjoy your time with her, and then go to the next, and worry about yourself. You know, that shouldn't even be a priority.
I hear your talking points, but I still hear underneath the talking points somebody who feels woefully inadequate. That even if you committed yourself to a woman, she's going to cheat on you and break your heart. That's my observation of you.
So I'm inadequate because I don't. So what makes me inadequate is that I don't want to submit to one woman eternally.
No, you're afraid that if you submit, that there is no eternity. There is no marriage. There's no purpose in it, because if you do, she gonna give away that box. She gonna let another nigga balls deep, like the OG used to say, right in it. That's what your fear is. Admit that shit.
I'm not scared of that. Every woman's gonna do that eventually. I mean,
you ain't scared about it. You already accepted it.
Force it.
Do you see what these youngsters think? All women are going to do that eventually. They're going to cheat. They're going to cheat. They're going to have some other niggas ball deep up in her. You know, all women don't do that, sweetheart. I am a very faithful woman. I have never cheated in my life. Never. Ever. Because it's disgusting. And if I feel that this is not working out, I know how to get a divorce. I've been divorced twice already, honey. My first divorce I got from legal aid. That didn't hardly cost me nothing. And the divorce I got now, I spent $1,000. Only reason why I spent $1,000 is because the first time I was going to do it, I put a stop to it. And then I had to go back because in actuality, the divorce was $499. $499. Less than $500, you could say. What's a dollar? So you can get divorced these days, man. $500 is done, is over. I think I was divorced within 3 months. Less than 3 months, probably. I think it was less than 3 months, and it was over.
Women initiate the most divorces in this country.
You are inadequate as a man to hold on to that woman.
That's
why you don't even want to think about it.
He can't hold on to him.
Say that shit.
That's not the case, though. I mean, that's your opinion. I'm just one of these guys who don't desire just one woman. I don't need submission from one woman. I can get submission from multiple women, and I know that it's always temporary. Most of with women, it's just your turn. It's just your turn.
Question, brother. And I don't mean any disrespect in any way, but how old are you, if you mind? I'm just asking.
I'm 30.
Okay. You're 30 years old. And usually men don't come into their own when it comes to these relationship things until you're a little bit older, into the 30s. So right now, you just came out of your 20s. You're 30 years old, so you're still a young brother. And you're at a point where you don't really need to tie yourself down to one person. I get it. But at some point in time, as you mature, with more experience and time, there will be a time when you will look, maybe it won't work for you, but there may be a time when you may look to settle down with that one woman that you really feel is the best woman for you. You probably just haven't met that woman yet because you're still going on your journey in life. So I can tell you right now that at some point in time, you will covet a woman. Maybe not now, but maybe down the line, because at the end of the day, nobody wants to die old alone. And you may not be able to, you may not say that for yourself now, but at some point in time, it will be that one woman that you might feel you may feel that you can give more of 100% to, and maybe you'll be a brother who never marries, never nothing. I'm not trying to push marriage on you, but what I'm saying is, I've seen guys do this. You can get with this woman, you can be with that woman, blah blah blah. It sounds good, but eventually, at some point in time in life, because we all get old and we all get wrinkled and we don't look as cool as we used to look. At some point in time, you don't want to be the dude in an apartment or a house somewhere eating Campbell soup, sipping on Campbell soup, looking like the Grinch or something. At some point, you're gonna find out that there's more to life than how many nuts you can bust in a woman, how many women that you can have. Because where you at, brother? I've been there, done that. Okay, you can have as many women as you want. That sounds great, it's wonderful, but there actually is more to life than how many women that a man can capture. A lot of times, some brothers, I'm not saying you, will measure their manhood by how many women they can conquer. And I'm telling you, manhood is more than just how many women you can get or you feel you can get to submit to you. That's just my opinion. Not trying to be disrespectful to you.
No. I get it. I just don't see. I mean, if the woman is giving you submission, even if it's temporary, I don't understand why we are expecting submission to be everlasting. It's nothing lasts forever. Till death do us part is unrealistic. Most marriages end in divorce. Women initiate 70% of divorce. I mean, if you want submission from a woman, you can get it. Just self-improve and get your money right. She will submit. And when she leaves you, which she inevitably will, you can just go to the next one and keep getting your money and keep getting your paper. I've seen a lot of broken men. Are you saying I'm young, but I'm learning the mistakes from older black men who are getting screwed.
Yeah, I'm not saying that you're broken. I'm simply saying that what I'm saying is at some point in your life, as you're chasing the money and you're doing everything to build yourself up and put yourself in a position, there will be a time in your life when there may be a woman that comes along that you might be willing to have it.
Buy real estate.
And nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed, brother. You're right about that. He's right. Lagoon is right. Buy real estate.
Buy real estate.
Nothing is guaranteed in life. Relationships are not guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed but death and taxes. So I agree with that part. That's true.
Yeah, and listen, for those in the chat who are like, why is Moses snapping on him? Me and Ramil obviously disagree. I've been married for 12 years. We obviously disagree. Even on his last show he came on, and he was like, black men, stop having babies. He believes in this shit. So let the youngster stand on his square. Fuck y'all if y'all sensitive. He said temporary satisfaction is better for him. How could I disagree on that shit? He said that's what works for me. He said temporary submission works for me. If temporary submission is working from bed to bed,
now I hear what he's saying too. Temporary is what this kid is looking for. That's what works for him. But most people are looking to build something. Most people want to create families. Most people want, a partnership or something. Especially when you get to a certain age. I don't think you're looking for too much temporary. I'm good. Me personally, I'm good flying solo. I'm good, But a lot of people can't do what I do. I'm good. I could be happy with a man. I could be happy without one. That's just SheilaTruelove. But I keep in mind that God created a woman for a man as his helper. Now think about what the Bible said when it comes to a man. This doesn't apply to a woman. The Bible said he created this man and he got to see that this man, it was not good. It says, and I quote, it is not good for him, not her. It is not good for him to be alone. It's not good for him to be alone. And therefore he created a what? A helpmate, a helper for him. He didn't create no helper for women. He didn't say it's not good for her to be alone. Men, they need a woman. I'm sorry, they do. I think they need two women in their life. They always have to have two, their mother and their wife. Because when their wife and him are not seeing eye to eye, he could always go to his mom. The wife don't have to worry. Is he out there with another woman? Is he out there cheating? He's at his mom's house. His mom is going to spoil him. She's going to cook all his favorite dishes. She's going to let him go in his room and lay down and rest. He could get a break for 3 days or so. He could go there from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, come back home to his wife Monday after work. They gave each other a break. And I think a woman, she needs two men in her life. She needs her dad. or her uncle or somebody, and she needs her husband if she decides to get married. I think if she decides to get married, she have to have two men. So when her husband is getting on her last nerve, she can always say, I'm going over to dad. I'll be at my father's house from Friday to Sunday. I'll see you Monday when I get back. Your dad is going to spoil his little precious girl. And I would say, if you don't have your dad, maybe some older guy, but these older men, they be chasing after you like hell. But I think each person needs two. A man needs two women, a woman needs two men. The mother, the father, and your wife and your husband. That works. Because, people get on each other's nerve and you need to take a break sometime, a timeout. A timeout don't mean you're sleeping around with other people. If you're on a break, that don't mean you're whipping your penis or your vagina out with other people. No, it means you're on a timeout. Take time out to see how your life would be without this person. Take that time out. Now, if you sitting up here slinging penis while you're supposed to be on the timeout, you're never going to really value your wife, the way you should. No, let you sit there with nobody and let you see how it is. And then maybe when you come back home, you'll act like you got some sense. That's the purpose of a timeout and a break. But these guys, they sit up there and say, no, we wasn't together. No, baby, we were together. We was on the timeout. Don't get it twisted. We were still together.
The house, couch to couch. He's probably good on Sylvian radio, just in his house. He got standards about the way that he carries it. Now, do I believe that that should be the message that we put forth in the public? That that's the image of the black male? That that's the image of the black family? Do I agree with that shit? Hell nah. But I'm not gonna sit here and preach to this young brother. I'm gonna get in his ass. I'm just pause. I understand how many young brothers have been going through some broken trauma shit. All I had was the OGs, the pimps, the thugs, the gangsters, the fuck a bitch. That shit was in me, that player lifestyle. I never would have thought that I could have made a marriage last this long. And until I got around other men who were upwardly mobile and started realizing that even in corporate America, where there are successful men, most of them are married. Ain't no single black men getting upwards of management positions. You're just not a trustworthy. Show me. Show me.
I know plenty of friends work for Lockheed Martin, Ford Motor Company. They are single and they are in very great positions.
What is their title? Management. I'll hit you up on LinkedIn after this, and then we can go Rolodex for Rolodex on the incidences where there's black men who must be married in order to break that glass ceiling. Now,
that's a good point, because I can't imagine. I've never seen a CEO that's not married. I've never seen the president of a company that's not married or don't have the picture of his wife in his office and all of that. Most of these successful men and men who are in managerial positions, they are married. Especially if you want to break that glass ceiling to keep climbing up and more up and up. Because the companies want to see if you can commit to anything. You can't commit to your goddamn marriage, or a lot of these corporate men, when they cheat, they try to hide that. They try to hide that with everything they have, because they know the company is looking at that. You can't be faithful to your own wife. That's supposed to be your other half, son. You can't be faithful to her or commit to that. I'm sorry, we don't think you're going to work out with this company. Now, I know that people will say, well, that's totally different. You say what you want to. Don't shoot the messenger, baby. But that's how a lot of these, 500 Fortune 500 companies, that's the way they see it. And to be honest with you, I'm thinking about it. I laid here for a minute. How many men do I know that's in these high positions, especially like where I work? I work with the state in the legal field. And all the men there, they're married. All of them are married. The attorneys that I work with, they're all married. Yep. We have like 4 new attorneys coming in on Monday. I bet you that most of them are going to be married unless they're women. Because I see a lot of single women who are like up there, but they're single because they don't have time to be sitting here taking care of no husband and taking care of no kid. You see? So the women, they tend to be single, flying solo. But when it comes to the men, it's different.
If you find those exceptions to the rule, it's just like finding an exception to the rule, a woman who would be submissive to you in marriage. Let me calm down. I'm a little bit hyper, but right now,
everybody hates single black men who want
to. Right now, I'll tell you like this, and I'll give you back the mic right now. Here's my point that I want you to speak to. I know you have your talking points, but I actually want you to follow this line of reasoning, because I think it works well with what you're saying as a young dude. Smart expectations clearly communicated, so you're upfront with them, to a receptive and capable woman. That's what black men need. So right now, not like what my brother Information Man did a little bit earlier when he ran from the question about black male accountability. It's not about the woman and her choosing other white people. It's not about any other thing, but what does the black man desire? How does he communicate it? Is he communicating it effectively? Is she a reasonable person? Are the expectations reasonable that he wants to put on it? Is it intimate? Or is it things that are going to clash with her pride? Was she raised to be receptive to this type of information, or was she raised in that matriarchy of women who was in the behind the deacon's board, the deaconesses, and they always met on Wednesdays and Saturdays and Sundays and talked shit about black men? Was she raised under that, or was she raised with daddy issues? All of these different variables make it so hard to predict that I can understand why young people would move into a space and say, fuck a bitch, I'm finna get this money. But I don't believe that that's the long-term goal. I believe that it's better for us not to put off having babies, but to become successful first inside of our own homes. There you go.
All right. I couldn't have said it better. I couldn't have said it better. But anyway, he's young. He'll learn eventually, especially when he first start losing his erections. That's really going to put him in panic mode. So he going to flip and go from woman to girl. But when he sees that I'm losing erections with her too, and I'm losing things with her too, oh my God, panic mode. I better start looking for me a wife. He'll learn. Yeah, he's young. He's still wet behind the ears. Anyway, Tubies, I wanted to share that with you. Okay? I'm having a good time here. Just be happy that SheilaTruelove is finally getting some rest. And I'm enjoying myself. Like I told you, I like educational things. You know? I like that National Geographic thing too. Anyway, you always have a choice. Choose wisely. We'll talk again. You know we will.